You want to get a six pack for your holiday, you're going to go onto the internet and find a load of videos that are going to tell you how to do it. But unfortunately, boys, a lot of it is smelly. It's smelly fucking content. They're going to get you doing an ab workout fucking daily. So they're going to get you working every day. Fucking just bending from your hip flexors, getting hot and sweaty, and then telling you to eat in a calorie deficit to get abs. And they'll tell you can do it in 22 days or 4 minutes to abs. And it's garbage, boys. It's all fucking garbage. It's so funny. And I feel sorry for people because you don't know what you don't know. These fuckers are just making multiple videos on how to get abs because they're fucking bored. And they get the average population. Doing 4 minute ab workouts every day. Fucking, that's brutal. Absolutely brutal. But it is important. It's important to have abs. Fucking right it is. Especially if you're going to go on holiday, boys. I'm not going to lie. You're going to get more attention if you've got abs. It's just the way it works. I went to a cenote the other day in Mexico. And I was the only one with abs. And guess what? The nicest girl there was giving me attention because I had abs. It's just the way life works. Cool. So let's fucking solve that problem for you and make sure you've got abs. Like my client that we got in tip-top shape for his holiday to Ibiza. In which case he was the best six-pack out of his mates when he was there, which is it's nice. It's nice, boys. And it is. You do feel fucking amazing when you've got a set of abs. And it is really important that you just have this tangible guide on how to actually get them. So when you need to plug and play it, you plug and play it on how to actually get the abs. Now, you know me, I like to go into the specifics. I like to break down the anatomy and understand like how do we actually train the abs. So I've already pre-done a video that's going to talk through it. But let's just understand the anatomy. So we're speaking about the rectus abdominis. That is what you predominantly want to train, and that is here. Starts and it inserts from this point here, just below your sternum, and it runs down onto where like the pubis bone is there. So we understand that in order to train a muscle, we have to lengthen and shorten that muscle under load. Now, we're going to go into one. I only do one exercise because this is the only fucking exercise you need. What's the function of the abs? To flex the fucking spine. So that is all you need to do. You need to flex the spine. But what people get so wrong in these 4-minute ab workouts, they barely flex the spine. So let me run this video for you. Okay, here we go. Cool. Yeah. Fast forward this bit here. So this is what people get wrong. They just sit up and down like fucking lunatics. Where when you do that exercise, did the torso change in length? Where did flexion from the spine happen? Where did the abs crunch together? They didn't, did they? Don't get me wrong. If you said is there tension on the abs, there is a little bit because your fucking heavy ass head, like mine, is having, and everything above your abs is having to be stabilized and held in one fixed position by the abs. So isometrically, think like a plank where the muscle doesn't change in length but there's tension. It is working in that regard. But all you're really doing is you're just hinging from that hip joint. So your hip flexors are getting absolutely fucking smashed up. And don't get me wrong, is there a time and a place for strong hip flexors? I realised after doing a bit of Muay Thai, yeah, I could do with stronger hip flexors. So actually, there is a time and a place for it. If I want to showcase my abs, that is not the place for it. And this is not what we should be doing to strengthen the abs, to make the abs look bigger and blockier. We need to flex the spine in order to grow the abs. Let's keep the video rolling. Okay, so yeah, as we said, they just hinge from the hips. Hip flexors get burnt out. This is how we want to do it. So, look at the angle of the bench we've set it on. Now, I've stacked it with some plates because it was honestly it was almost fucking vertical. But you could do this flat to start with. Do this from a flat standpoint and just literally build up the skill of being able to flex the spine. Think of it like this. Think about stacking your abs on top of each other. You're going to need to breathe out, empty the air out of your stomach. Round, 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 round. Stack the abs. Keep the tension on. It's not on the hips because the hips, it doesn't go. You don't even need to go that high so that the hips start engaging. Because as soon as you go past a certain point, you're no longer flexing that spine because you've maxed the range. So all you're doing really is lifting up from the hips, and the hips are then taking the tension off the abs, arguably. So just go up to that fixed point, and it's weird, and you're going to think, oh, is that it? Is that all I really need to do? But yeah, The function of the abs is to flex the spine. So we want to do that with some resistance in the way. Now, with this bench, it's set at a certain angle that's challenging for me. Start flat, crunch the abs. You may only be able to do like fucking 6 to 8 reps when you actually do this exercise properly. Another key component of what you're trying to do here, you're trying to get the bottom of your ribs to touch where your hip bones would be. And a good way you can get around this is by essentially folding your arms across your upper body. So think about stacking the abs on top of each other. You're going to need to breathe out, crunch, squeeze, keep the tension, and then slowly release it all the way back out. But always keeping that curvature of the spine. It's the only exercise actually in the fucking history of training where I would tell you to curve your spine like a cat. Because that is ultimately what we're trying to do. In nearly every other exercise you've ever done in the gym, you've been told to keep your back straight. This is one way you're actually not trying to do that because you're trying to flex the spine to target the abs. Now, you're going to need to breathe out, crunch, and the way you improve this and make it harder over time is you increase the angle. So you use gravity against you. Nice fucking face, mate. And you increase the angle, you improve you use gravity against it for you, and then you can slowly start to add a little bit of load as that time comes on. And then here's another myth. When people say about training their lower abs, that's part bullshit as well, to be honest, boys. The way you could do this is, let me see if I have a video for you. Okay, I do not have a video for you, but essentially you would do the opposite. You would have your arms up on the bench and you would curl your legs up. Your legs are heavy as fuck, so obviously I would start with the initial exercise and then work on the second. It will give a different bit of variety, but all you're really doing is bringing the rectus abdominis together. So to target lower and upper, it doesn't really work like that. You can't just develop thick ass lower abs. So that's realistically the only exercise you need to do. It depends on, to be honest, genetics, how often you would need to do that. I do that exercise twice per week, 3 sets, and that is it. Now, I've got a client, and he doesn't have natural big, thick, blocky abs. Although he's getting leaner, they're not actually there protruding out. And you may also find this in the case for yourself, in which case you need to understand that what would you do with any other muscle that was quite small and it needed growing? You wouldn't be doing loads of shit ton of reps with light weight or body weight. You just wouldn't do it, would you? And that's what's being portrayed in these videos. You would stack it with resistance and you would train it 2 to 3 times a week if that's what was needed and apply progressive overload. So realistically program it for 3 times per week. It will recover pretty fast, to be honest. You don't need to do it every day, but you do need to do it at least 3 times a week. I need to get a fair amount of volume in, but you're going to need to start off small because I guarantee if you're watching this, you've never applied this knowledge. So just start off twice a week, 3 sets both days, add in the 3rd day, then slowly increase a set over time. And before you know it, if you're doing 12 sets for your abs per week, that'll be fine. Honestly, if you follow this and don't have a thick set of abs after following this for 12 weeks straight, following the certain way I've told you to execute the movement and following that amount of volume, you're either doing something very wrong, in which case send me a video of how you're doing it and I'll critique it and perform it better for you. But something's gone drastically wrong. So you need to treat it like any other muscle with hypertrophy. Now, people tell you to do that rope crunch exercise, and I'll be honest, boys, people just hinge from the hips. It's a fucking hard exercise to kind of execute, and I can't really do it properly, so I don't, and I wouldn't try and coach you on it. It lifts me up the other way, so I just don't like it. This one is fixed. I can lock everything in, and I can crunch from the spine. Hanging leg raises, a good exercise, but to be honest, people don't have the strength to just flex the spine. They lift from their hips. It's just the way it is. Are you going to work your abs at the same time? Yeah, there is some, but this is just pure abs, no hips. So there are other good exercises, but people don't actually have the strength to execute them. As we just spoke about with doing it on a bench supported, which would actually be better than doing hanging leg raises because at least you're supported. If you try to do that properly, you do 2 or 3 reps, I guarantee you won't be able to get any more out. So we understand that to train it, we need to treat it like any other muscle. Apply progressive overload, get them thick, big and blocky. And then, of course, like people will say it's diet, and yeah, that is part of the case, but it's understanding, right, well, what is my current level of body composition? How much body fat am I currently carrying? Okay, cool. What is my scale weight? Then what is my resting metabolic rate? How active am I? And then what is my maintenance calorie target? and I need to pull slightly from that if I am going to see my abs. Of course you are. You're going to need to be leaner to see your abs. Everyone has abs underneath a load of body fat. So you are going to need to pull it down, but you need to do it slowly, progressively over time. Just trying to do it in a crash course over the course of fucking 4 weeks, it's probably not going to be able to see them unless you already started fairly lean. So I hope that sounds obvious, but people try to sell you that you can get abs in 22 days just by doing a fucking gay workout on your carpet room floor, and that isn't going to be the case. But you should always be in a case of developing your nutritional knowledge anyway. Like, if this is the first video you've seen of mine, like, we talk massively on nutrition here because it is literally everything. You should be doing something with your food at every point of the year. Even if you're just at maintenance, you should understand, this is my maintenance target. I know to be eating this. I know I'm at maintenance because I'm already at the lean level of body fat. This is primal position to then start building tissue from. And you need to know roughly what those macros are, and then, you know, maybe not following a specific meal plan on when you're in maintenance, maybe just following a macro plan, and you know how to fit that relative to some foods because you've educated yourself over time. Remember, this doesn't want to feel like a fucking prison sentence where you're always stuck to and can't go outside and conform to a plan. You want to be able to make just general health decisions. This is why we do it, for a healthier life, but also not so we're so restricted. Or maybe you're in the phase of you need to pull a lot of body fat off, in which case you're in that calorie deficit and you're in that cut, you're educating yourself on how that needs to be. Or even when you're in the building phase, you understand where your maintenance target was, and you understand that realistically, to build tissue, you just need to be in a slight gradual surplus because the food doesn't put the muscle on. The food drives performance in the gym. Tearing the muscle fibers, lifting more load will add the tissue, and of course the food will, on the back end, subsequently help recover that from that perspective. So, boys, if you need any help when it comes to nutrition stuff, just find me on Instagram, or there's always links in the description. Just find me through them, and we can talk things through. But to summarise and cut all the bullshit, don't fucking bend from your hips, flex the spine, put it under load, grow it over time, progressive overload, either add increase the angle, increase load, or increase sets over time as you get there. Make sure your nutrition is on point. I'm not going to go into it because there's loads of videos you could find on the channel that are going to teach you literally how to discover what your body composition is and then take it from there. But don't put yourself in a fucking daft calorie deficit for like a crash course trying to pull it all off. It don't really work like that, boys. You can't just pull a load of body fat off really fast. You'll just lose a load of water, lose a load of fucking muscle glycogen, you'll lose some body fat, you'll just feel soft, you'll just feel skinny, you won't like it, and then you'll pack it all back on and nothing will have really changed. So do it properly, don't cut corners, boys. It's your physique, you get to look after this for the rest of your life, and it's a fucking sick feeling. So I hope this was valuable. If it wasn't, give me some hate. If it was, give me a like and some more hate, and I'll see you tomorrow.